Good afternoon, classmates. Here we are for our final week 4 discussion. And there were a lot of great takeaways from this course, but I do think that if I had to choose like 3 strategies, 2 of them are things that I don't even think were necessarily like covered in the syllabus. I think our professor was just a really great professor and like shared more of like her experience and things that she's learned over the years and like strategies that she's implemented. So one that I really like is the zones of regulation. So where I have worked for like the past 2 years, every class that I'm in, every class starts the day with a morning meeting. But I've only actually been in one class where they use the zones of regulation. And I wasn't even in there as a sub. I was just in there as a parent volunteer. So I didn't really know what was going on with it. But I do actually want to learn more about it because I feel like you do have to have a better understanding when you're asking your students, like, what zone are you in? Because, like, for instance, the red zone, it can be like overjoyed and elated, but also panicked and terrified and angry. But what I thought was neat was when this teacher was utilizing the zones of regulation, she had it built into her morning meeting. So the kids were able to say, like, good morning, my name is Abby, I'm in the green zone. Or if there was a student that was like, good morning, my name is Billy, I'm in the red zone. Well, like both the teacher and the other students seemed very empathetic and like showing the student that they were there as a support system. So I think that would be a really good thing. I'm wondering, so this was a 4th grade class. I'm wondering how it would be to implement it at the younger levels, but I'm sure there's like so much training that you can take to really understand like the best tools and methods to execute that. So I thought that was really cool. Because like when I'm in a classroom, I'll ask them sometimes with like their morning meeting question, like, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or like a sideways, like you're just kind of so-so. But I think that the zones of regulation are really good too. And I have heard about it when I was in an IEP meeting. So I don't know if it's something that is maybe more utilized with like special education, but I think it's great for a general education classroom as well. I also really liked the wheel of names. I thought that was so fun because I think anything to get your students to be more engaged, that's probably like one of the most challenging things, right? Is that in any given classroom, you probably have like your 3 to 4 kiddos who are always more than willing and happy to participate and share. And you don't want to not call on them because obviously they're excited and like they want to be a part of the conversation, but then you also don't want other students to feel like, oh, well, so-and-so is going to answer it or they always answer it right, and so I don't want to try to answer it and not get it right. So I thought that was fun because I think also anytime, I think there's maybe like an innate like excitement when you see your name like on a screen or on a board, like it could probably go both ways. Like there's a little bit of like anxiousness, like, oh, is it gonna land on me? But also like, ooh, is it gonna land on me? So I thought the wheel of names was really a fun tool as well. I haven't quite figured out how I could implement it in the class I'm in now because I feel like oftentimes I'm already like on the doc cam, and so I don't have like 2 screens to project. Maybe I could like go back and forth on it, but yeah, I'm sure, when you're in a classroom, you kind of figure that stuff out. And then the last strategy, I think like the video that we watched about unpacking academic standards, that was really helpful to just like break it down, because sometimes I feel like, especially when you're looking at things like, maybe it's just me, but when you have like numbers with decimal points and like letters and things that are kind of like, why am I blanking on the name now? Just like abbreviations, it kind of gets a little bit like, oh, what am I looking at? What am I supposed to be doing with this? So I thought that it was neat that video showed us like all you're doing with any academic standards are identifying what the students must know and how they have to be able to do or like execute that skill within a context. So I thought that was super helpful because it like actually broke down like, okay, this is what the students have to do. This is how they have to do it. and then this is the context that they have to do it within. So I felt like it just was like a good video to really break it apart and kind of understand it a little bit better. And then I know like using those verbs, you know, like we've learned in Bloom's taxonomy, those are really helpful as well to kind of like figure out what are they doing? Are they creating? Are they discussing? Are they reviewing? Are they, so yeah, all that stuff. So all in all, I thought it was a really great class. Yeah, thank you guys for everything. Sorry, this went a little long. Have a good one.